Attention all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Dave Scott, Lost in Space, the other side of midnight.
Danger, Baltus Sterling, danger.
Now, as a known Canadian, Dave, do you understand what your country has done to our country this week?
Yes. Not only did we have the manager and like 4 players on the All-Star team for Major League Baseball during the All-Star game, but we've also donated some low air quality to you via the forest fires, which I do apologize about.
The forest fires are unique in that it isn't just a little smoke. We're looking at visibility of a foot ahead of you at some places like the Mackinac Island Bridge, all of upstate New York, northeast Ohio, most of Pennsylvania, all of New Jersey. You can only see 3 or 4 feet in front of you. It's that thick, tan, yellow smoke. The only good news of it is it doesn't smell bad. It smells kind of nice. But man, you can't drive in that. And all the public pools in Pennsylvania, upstate New York, Ohio, they shut down all day. They weren't going to let people swim in those pools, sucking in that air, risking them suffocating.
Well, I do have a conspiracy theory about this, if you want me to get into that rather than UFOs tonight.
Yes, I'd like you to, in fact, go into deep detail. All conspiracy theories are welcome on the other side of midnight.
Well, I live in a forest fire area, and in 2017, I was evacuated from my town for 11 days due to forest fires that were encroaching my little town of 2,500 people. And over that time, I live in an area where there is a single runway. It used to be for private planes when they'd come into resorts, but more recently it's turned into areas where when there are forest fires in our area, that's where they park the helicopters. And in order to allow them to rest, refuel, and do maintenance and everything. And there's been times when we've had 20, 30 helicopters at our small little airport around here. And over that time, I got to know the manager of the airport and his wife, beautiful people, by the way. And we were talking about the forest fires one year. We were sitting around having a beer and watching the helicopters come in and out. And we started talking about it. And something he said to me that I didn't really make sense to me at the time, but the more I thought about it, I was like, wow, this does make sense. The forest fire industry has become a multi-billion-dollar industry.
What?
And these mega fires that we are now seeing help create profit. And in Canada here, where we are very large and we have a very large contingent of our population that is into climate change and environmental stress, they tend to believe that this is all caused by nature, not 80%, even though 80% of them, usually in the statistics, are caused by a campfire gone bad or somebody out target shooting and blows up tannerite or maybe flicks a cigarette out their window. And that's where these giant fires happen. But what I have noticed and what I learned from talking to this guy is the bureaucracy behind forest fires. And that is the problem. Back in the day, when there was a forest fire, everybody on hand got out and did the job. The loggers would help out. They would plow down areas, create fire breaks. It didn't matter. Everybody was worried about the environment and the amount of forestry that could potentially be lost, and let's get it out. Well, my friend who runs the airport tells me this story from a helicopter pilot one day, and the helicopter pilot had picked up a bucket of water. He had a government official beside him, and along the highway coming out of my town, there was some smoke in the trees, and he's like, let me drop this bucket right here. I can quickly put this out. It'll be 3 minutes back to the watering hole where we could pick up another bucket. That'll be about 8 minutes. and then we could go take this bucket to the bigger fire. The guy in the helicopter beside him, or in the seat beside him, the government official says, no, this bucket is scheduled for that fire over there. You will leave the fire that's smoldering below, and you will go take it to the big one. Well, on their way back, that little smoldering that could have been put out with one bucket was now 5 hectares of fire. And because he couldn't put it out, go back and take that extra 8 minutes to 11 minutes to go refill, we had a new fire going on. And I think it's because of the bureaucracy that we are seeing in Canada the last 10 years especially, these super fires that are happening. Not because of climate change, not because of people being stupid, but because we're not putting them out fast enough due to government bureaucracy.
And what's the conspiracy part?
That the government, in order to push the climate change agenda, wants these super fires. So that way they can charge a carbon tax. They can charge taxes on the environment shifting, which costs people a ton of money. And
you don't think it is of concern to them that they're compelling and inciting emphysema, that they're killing animals? That doesn't concern them?
I don't think it does.
Got it. All right. Well, that's that theory actually makes total sense. And now I look forward to your UFO report, sir.
Well, we're heading out to Washington, D.C., where J.D. Vance has made some comments recently with Joe Rogan on the Joe Rogan podcast. And one of the things that he said was he does not believe that aliens exist on Earth. He believes that people, due to his religion, are actually having demonic experiences when they claim to be taken, when they claim to be abducted. He said that in the evidence that he has seen, he believes that it would have leaked by now if the United States government had any bodies or any sort of crash retrieval. He says he has not seen the evidence, that he went looking for it. If you remember, a number of months ago, Vance also stated that he was very excited to learn about the UAP/UFO phenomena, that he was very interested in it. However,
right.
the UFO critics are really, really jumping on him about his religious bias on this subject, because biblically speaking, anything that comes from the sky is demonic. And he's not opening up his mind to the evidence that has already been presented by insiders like David Grush or Lou Elizondo, even members of the Republican Party led by Anna Paulina Luna, Tim Burchett, and Eric Burlison, who have claimed this is happening. Even Mitch McConnell came out and said that he believed that alien abductions are real, and we need to start listening to more people who are having these experiences because they have answers probably outside the scientific community. So J.D. Vance has really ruffled the feathers of a lot of people talking about this subject.
There is the great Dave Scott, host of Spaced Out Radio, tragically at the moment a Canadian. And between the fires, Alanis Morissette, and Anne Murray, we have a lot of reasons to not like Canadians today, Dave.
Well, especially with that moron who slapped the young teenager.
And that. Yeah, that wasn't so good.
I'll be honest with you. We don't want her back. You keep her down there. We don't want or need her back.
Dave Scott, thank you very much for being on the other side of midnight.